What if I told you there was an F-16 so capable that it could nearly match the range of an F-15 Strike Eagle, a version of the famous fighting Falcon designed to fly farther, carry more weapons, and strike targets deep behind enemy lines? It was called the F-16ES, short for Enhanced Strategic, and despite production looking like a future version of the F-16, it never entered production. Before we dive into this video, I need you guys to hit that like button and subscribe. Only 9% of you are currently subscribed, and I know for a fact that we can do better than that. In the early 1990s, Israel was looking for a new long-range strike fighter. Lockheed proposed a radical upgrade to the F-16, known as the F-16ES. The goal was simple: create an aircraft with the range and strike capability of larger fighters while retaining the F-16's agility and lower operating costs. At first glance, the F-16ES looked unusual. Large bulges ran along the upper fuselage behind the cockpit. Those were CFTs, or conformal fuel tanks. Unlike traditional drop tanks, they were integrated into the aircraft shape, creating far less drag while dramatically increasing fuel capacity. The biggest advantage of the F-16ES was range. The conformal fuel tanks could add approximately 3,200 pounds of fuel. Combined with external fuel tanks, the aircraft could achieve an unrefueled combat radius of roughly 1,025 miles, about a 40% increase over Block 50 F-16s at the time. That meant the F-16 could perform missions that previously required larger aircraft. But fuel wasn't the only upgrade. Lockheed also planned an internal FLIR system. Instead of carrying targeting pods externally, sensors would be built into the aircraft itself, reducing drag and improving performance. This was a major step towards the advanced systems later seen on newer F-16 variants. To prove the idea would work, Lockheed modified an existing F-16C Block 30 test aircraft. The company installed prototype shapes representing the conformal fuel tanks and FLIR sensors and began flight testing in late 1994. The results were encouraging. Engineers found that the aircraft's handling characteristics changed very little despite the added structures. One of the biggest concerns had been whether the extra fuel tanks would hurt the F-16's famous agility. Testing suggested those fears were largely unfounded, but there was a problem. The F-16ES wasn't competing against older fighters. It was competing against the F-15E Strike Eagle. The Strike Eagle offered greater payload capacity, twin-engine reliability, and a proven deep strike capability. In the end, Israel selected the F-15E that became the F-15I Ram instead of the F-16ES. For Lockheed, the dream of the F-16ES appeared to be over. But the story didn't end there. Many technologies developed for the F-16ES survived. The conformal fuel tanks eventually appeared on later F-16 variants, including advanced export models and the Block 60 family. The concept of internally integrated targeting systems were also influenced future upgrades. In many ways, the F-16ES became a technology demonstrator for the next generation of fighting Falcons. Even though the aircraft never entered production, its DNA can still be seen on modern F-16s flying today. The F-16ES is one of aviation's history's greatest what-if aircraft, a fighter that promised the Strike Eagle-like range in a smaller, lighter package. It lost the competition that inspired its creation, but many of its innovations lived on and helped shape future F-16 variants. If the F-16ES had entered service, it might have become one of the most capable long-range single-engine fighters ever built. Would you have chosen the F-16ES or the F-15E Strike Eagle? Now, for obvious reasons, the F-16 offers a lot of pros over the F-15. Like we said, lighter, cheaper operating costs was a big concern with the F-16ES program. Now, in War Thunder, the F-16ES would just be very similar to existing platforms. It'd be able to carry the AMRAAM. It'd basically be if you took the F-16A and mixed it in with the F-16C, as it's still a Block 30, but with more advanced weapons. It would have the internal targeting pod on the nose, which would be great for the game, and it would have the conformal fuel tanks. So overall, I think it'd be a really cool event aircraft, maybe a premium or something like that. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.